You've probably never seen this before, but this Swedish company was on track to be a multi-billion-dollar company. And then the government got involved and they filed for bankruptcy at the end of 2023. I was lucky enough to find this product on eBay because they're not legally allowed to sell any more units. This is one example of a billion-dollar idea that's ripe for the picking in the US and the rest of the world, and absolutely nobody is working on it. I'm going to tell you about this product in just a second, but first I'd like to tell you a story. When I was in college at the University of Florida, I had this friend, let's call him Chris to protect his identity, and Chris was a dog. He loved to sleep around with different girls. And one day I got to Chris's house. And on my way there, I saw a familiar face coming out. And she turned bright red when she saw me. Pure embarrassment. It was my roommate's ex-girlfriend, and I happened to know that she had become addicted to drugs and was now working as an exotic dancer. When I saw Chris, I told him everything that I knew. After all, you've got to look out for your friends, especially when their health is at risk. I asked Chris if he used a condom, and before he could even answer, he ran into the bathroom, and all I heard was a loud scream. I asked Chris if he was okay because it sounded like he was dying, and his response was, "It burns." Chris had the brilliant idea that if he squirted hand soap into his pee hole, that it would kill any sexually transmitted diseases that he may have just contracted. And a few minutes later, once his pain had calmed down, we were laughing about it on the couch, and then boom, it hit me. I think Chris had just come up with a billion-dollar idea. Now, I was studying medicine at the time, and I actually took this idea and ran with it. I spoke to medical specialists, intellectual property attorneys, and even found some subjects for my new formulation. I used chlorhexidine so it wouldn't burn like alcohol-based hand soap, and in fact, a lot of the people in my college fraternity started to use this new invention pretty regularly. I called it Plan C. Now, unfortunately, I did not have the financial backing to turn this into a billion-dollar business, but it did get me thinking. What are some of the things that we are told to use in our day-to-day lives that cause us discomfort and frustration? And condoms are the perfect example. They're supposed to be worn every time you have sex, even when 99 out of 100 of those encounters don't require a condom. So then what are you supposed to do about that one time that something does go wrong? You invent an airbag. An airbag is only deployed when the car is in an accident. You don't drive around with a full airbag pinning you to the seat because that would be silly and very uncomfortable. But that's essentially what you're doing every time that you wear a condom. Plan C would have been a version of an airbag, but for a condom. There's been almost no innovation in 50 years, and most people dislike using them so much that they will gladly risk their sexual health. So the person that builds a company that makes condoms obsolete will be worth billions of dollars. This is the law of barriers, and this is what I want to talk about with you today. If you're starting a company and there are no barriers to enter that market, then it's likely an oversaturated market, and you're going to have to compete with every other company that's doing the same thing. But as you start entering into markets that have higher barriers to entry, it will likely take longer and be more expensive to build, but there's going to be much less competition and more upside. If you're looking for a way to scrape unlimited leads for one low one-time payment with zero monthly fees and zero export limits, Lead Sniper is the sponsor of this video. This is how I scrape Google Maps for leads. It takes minutes to set up. They have awesome live chat and dedicated support. And like I said, there is zero export limits. There is zero monthly fees. You pay once and you can export leads forever. All you have to do is go to leadsniper.com, linked down in the description, sign up for a free trial, and see how this works. Again, you can get this up and running in minutes and never have to worry about paying monthly fees for leads ever again. So thank you, Lead Sniper. Go and check out the link down in the description. It's an awesome tool. Now, back to the video. For example, the barrier to entry for a company like Plan C would be all of the legal fees involved in getting some sort of patent on the delivery device or the formula. You'd have to protect yourself against the lawsuits from people who use it improperly. And then, of course, go through all the clinical trials and testing to be able to sell it legally. But to the entrepreneur willing to climb that hill, to fight those barriers, there is a massive reward at the end of the road. Just think about Elon Musk and the barriers he's had to overcome to launch an electric car company, a space company, and Neuralink. There's a reason why he is the richest man in the world. The man is not afraid of barriers. All right, so let me tell you about this interesting device that I got my hands on. See, I ride an electric unicycle and I love my EUC. It has a built-in speaker. It goes 45 miles an hour. And if I go anywhere within a 2-mile radius, then I'm taking my EUC because it's going to get me there twice as fast, and it's an absolute blast to ride. But I'm worried the thing will one day kill me. Everyone always tells me to wear a helmet, and every time I agree with them. I should totally wear a helmet every time that I ride it. But it got me thinking, isn't there anything else that can be done so that I don't have to wear this big hard thing on my head every single time I go somewhere, especially in Florida because it gets very hot and it ruins my hair. But what if there was a device that acted like an airbag and only deployed in the 1 out of 1,000 chance that I crash? I took that idea and I started to sketch out some airbag-like devices for your head, and then I started searching on the internet for anyone that has done it before or tried it. Now I came across this company, Havding. They're based out of Sweden. This company had successfully built an inflatable bike helmet that goes around your neck and deploys in 0.1 seconds, only in the event of a crash. Unfortunately, the Swedish consumer agency attacked them in late 2023 with a sales freeze and a recall that put them permanently out of business. They filed for bankruptcy. And if you go searching for this online right now, you will not find it anywhere, and it is a damn shame. But this company proved that it is a viable idea. It's been protecting cyclists since 2005 with an impeccable record. And it was only shut down because the bureaucrats said it did not comply with health and safety requirements. So what? What's the point? Well, my call to action to you is to start thinking like Elon Musk. What big problems and inconveniences do people encounter every single day? And how can you innovate away those inconveniences? What barriers to entry are there for your idea? And if there's a lot of barriers, but you find that accomplishing it is in fact possible, then you should look at those barriers like a positive and not a negative, because chances are nobody else is going to be brave enough to take it on. And if you want to steal these two business ideas and make billions of dollars, I encourage you to do so. All I ask in return is that you invite me on your mega yacht once you're done. See, it's easy to start a coaching business or a marketing agency. Heck, I did both myself, but I acknowledge that neither of these businesses will likely make me $1 billion or really change the world in the long run. Now, as I grow as an entrepreneur and make more money and build more resources, I'm excited to take on challenges like this. And I always have my eye out for the next $1 billion idea. And I encourage you to do the same. Now, if you have any $1 billion ideas that you want to build together, let me know in the comments or slide into my Instagram DMs at LeadGen. I hope you enjoyed this video. I know it's a little bit different, not lead gen based. If you did like it, hit that like button. Make sure that you're subscribed so that you have an edge over your competition. And I'll see you in the next video.